In this video, I will show you how you can build an RC Bluetooth controlled rover from scratch. And after building it, we can modify it for any application we want. The rover will be operated using a mobile app, so we can make this rover to work however we want. To make the rover, we first will construct its body. For that, we will use wood of about 1 inch in width and half inch in height. We will then have to cut them into proper length for constructing the body. For that, I am using a hacksaw with a guide to make sure the cuts are straight. For constructing the rover, we will need about 2 pieces having length of 10 inches and we will need 4 pieces having length of 6.5 inches. Then we will start by laying it all out on a table so we get a general idea how we are going to stick every piece together. To make sure the frame is properly shaped, we will use an set square while aligning the wooden pieces together. Next thing we will do is apply Fevicol to the wooden pieces and then stick them together using the set square. As we need to make a complete rectangle, I split it into 2 halves by sticking them both separately and then we will stick both the halves together separately. After applying Fevicol, I also hammered some nails into the wood to make sure they stick properly. After hammering the nails, I also double checked with the set square to make sure the angle was right. After that, we have to stick both the halves together to complete the rectangle. So we apply glue to each end and then carefully stick them together. Now we will give some time for the glue to dry. It's important to leave it in the same position till the glue dries because we don't want the shape of the frame to be disturbed. The outer part of our body is complete and is in proper shape too. Next, we will apply some glue and stick the remaining pieces of wood to the frame with the help of some nails. After fixing one side, we will apply some glue to the other side and nail it into place. Then I applied some glue around the joints for adding strength. And our rover's body is complete. The main reason for adding the middle 2 pieces is because they provide some space to attach our other components of the rover. Now it's time to place some markings which will allow us to attach our motors in the proper shape. We will place the markings 2 inches or 5 centimeters apart from each end of the frame. Then we will place 2 more markers with a distance of 12.5 mm from the marker we placed before. This will help us to properly align the motor while sticking it into place. So we will place the same markings for the other 3 motors as well. Then we will melt some hot glue onto the underside of the motor and then stick it into place by holding it for a few seconds. Similarly, we will attach the other motors as well. After all the motors are attached, I put on the wheels to look how it looks and according to me it looks perfectly in shape. By the way, these motors are called BO motors and I used the 150 RPM variant. BO stands for battery operated. With that, our body of the rover is completely done. The next thing we have to do is to connect some wires to the motors and then test them. I used a solder iron and some solder wire to first tin the contacts on the motor. Then I connected the wire using the solder iron. I connected the first terminals of the motors together using red wire. And then I connected the other two together using black wire. Then by using a power supply set at 5 volts, I tested the motors. We can also see that when we reverse the polarity, the motors spin in the opposite direction. Then we will similarly wire up the other two motors and test them. If you are wondering why we are connecting these two motors together, well, we will operate them together as left motor or right motor. So when the rover has to turn right, it will rotate the right motor backwards and rotate the left motor forwards. Exactly how tanks and track-based vehicles operate. This eliminates the need to add the complex steering mechanism. And this is the wiring diagram. We will have to take out the wires to connect to our controller, so I connected some extra wires to the motors. With that, the motor part of the rover is done. Now let's assemble the component which will power our whole device, the battery. For the battery, I chose this 3.7 volt lithium-ion cell because it can provide the required amount of power to run the rover and also power any application we attach to it. I chose lithium-ion rather than lead-acid just because lead-acid batteries are much more heavy than lithium-ion. As these cells has a nominal voltage of 3.7 volt, for being able to power our controller and motor, which works on 12 volts, we have to connect 3 cells in series. Now for connecting them together, we will use solder. The terminals of the battery might have some oxidation which is bad for soldering, so we will use a sandpaper and sand it out. Then for keeping the batteries together, I am using this battery holder, but you can also do it by taping the batteries together. We will place the batteries next to each other with the opposite polarities side by side as we are connecting the batteries in series. So that means the first battery's plus should be right beside the second battery's minus. Then I am using this nickel strips to connect the batteries together using solder. Remember not to heat the batteries for too long, as the batteries are sensitive to heat and can even explode if not taken care. After that, we will turn the batteries around and solder the other two batteries together. So here we have a 11.1 volt battery pack ready. Next thing is to check the voltages of 1, the whole pack, and 2, the individual batteries. As we can see, the whole pack shows 11.2 volts. The individual batteries are just about 3.7, 3.6 volts. With the battery pack ready, we will also have to connect a BMS to the pack, which will individually charge the 3 cells and will protect the battery in case of any shorts. We will have to connect each of the battery's terminals to the BMS and the pins will be labeled on the BMS. This is the wiring diagram for the battery pack. Now with that done, I also attached a few pieces of wood to the middle pieces to create a slot in which we will fit our battery pack. After that is done, we can do a test fit by placing the batteries in between the slot. Till now everything is going fine. We have completed the body, the power source. Well, the motors need to be connected to a connector for connecting it to the controller board. This allows me to introduce a product of my own, the G2Lex motor controller board, which has the microcontroller motor driver support of connecting 7 external devices like lights, servo motors, etc., and it even has Bluetooth, all in one single board. So if you want to make a rover for yourself, you can contact me through Instagram or my contact, which I will provide in the description, and I will make this board available and ship it to you anywhere in India. Also, if you want to make this rover yourself, I can provide a kit which will have all the necessary materials required for making this rover. Now let's go back to building the rover. We will connect the motors according to the configuration written behind the controller board, which means the black wire on the connector connects to L1, which means the red wire of the left motor. Similarly, the other wires will be connected to the motor as well. I used some heat shrink to properly connect the wires together. After that, we can now easily connect and disconnect the motors to the control board, which makes our rover system somehow modular. Now we have to find out a way to fix the control board just above the batteries. So I attached 4 M3 bolts to the wooden frame and locked 4 nuts into place which will hold the control board. After that, we can easily place the battery and then fix the control board on top using the bolts. Now the rover is almost complete. The only remaining part is attaching the male XT60 connector for connecting to the batteries. You don't need to do this, you can directly connect wires. Before connecting it to the battery, I connected my power supply to the controller to give it a test. I set the voltage at 12 volts and then turned the power supply on. We can see the two LEDs are on, which means the rover is powered up. Then I went into my app, connected to the Bluetooth and gave the rover a test. It works fine. We can adjust the speed and move the rover in any direction. Next, I added a switch in series with the battery for turning the rover on or off. So I finally connected the battery and tested it out, and it works flawlessly. In this video, we just made the basic rover. I will be using this as a base for future projects, so don't forget to subscribe to the channel and press the notification bell so you won't miss those videos. In the end, I attached a LED light strip to the front and connected it to the control board. Let me know any questions or doubts you have in the comments below. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a like and share the video. Also, if you want to make this rover yourself, I will put all the details, diagrams in the description below. Thanks for watching.